this is the body compass exercise, which is a tool that I use with coaching clients. And we really rely on the messages of our body as opposed to our brains, because over time in childhood, we learn to ignore the signs and messages of our body in order to fit into our families, in order to fit into society and culture. And so this tool is a way to get back to tuning into those messages from our body. Now, if you've had any trauma, any sort of major, any trauma, sometimes you won't be able to hear the messages from your body, that the body parts will be numb, your whole body might be, or just one part of it. So if that's the case for you, if you go through this, then obviously seek proper medical intervention for that. But it's a good awareness if you're unable to feel any parts of your body, and that's obviously if you don't have any physical reasons to not feel your body. So Bronnie Ware, who was a hospice caregiver, wrote a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And the number one regret was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. So my mission as a life coach is to support people to live a life that is true to themselves and not a life that they're living for others, because that's not fulfilling at all. So in this exercise, we'll be doing a neutral body scan and then a scan using an unpleasant memory and a scan using a pleasant memory. So it's a bit of a process. I believe it might take about half an hour. So if you have time for that, please listen in. And it's best to do it all at once. And then I'll ask you to kind of jot down some numbers and some things that you remember from each scan. So let's dive in and do the neutral body scan. And I'll just be reading off some notes and looking down at the same time. So I invite you to get comfortable. Ideally, be seated with both feet flat on the floor. Uncross your arms and legs. Go ahead and close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. As I talk you through the different body parts, just notice any physical sensations there. Don't judge anything. Bring awareness to your toes and feet, noticing any sensations. Sometimes it helps to move your toes and feet. Most of us don't notice much of our body sensations until something hurts or feels uncomfortable. So wiggle your toes and just recognize that they are there. Then feel your ankles, your shins, and your calves. Notice that they're there. It's okay if you don't notice anything much. Bring your awareness to your knees and then to your thighs. Pat your legs with your hands to bring awareness to them. Notice anything you feel. Notice your hips and pelvis, your lower belly, your upper belly, and your chest. Take a deep breath and feel what's there. Bring your awareness to your throat, your neck, your shoulders, and slowly start to feel each arm. Feel your upper arms, elbows, forearms. Feel your wrists, your hands, and the tips of your fingers. Move back up your arms to your shoulders and then down your back. Feel your upper back, your middle back, and your lower back. Then bring your awareness to the top of your head and then your face. Notice your jaw, your mouth, and your chin. Move your awareness back down to the front of your body, to your heart. Take a deep breath into your heart space and let that go. Take a deep breath into your lower belly and let that go. Take another deep breath into the crown of your head and hold the breath there for a moment. Then let that go. When you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. That was the neutral body scan, and you can take note of as many sensations as you can remember in any areas of your body. You can just jot those down on a piece of paper. So next we'll move to the negative body compass calibration. And so I want you to think of an unpleasant memory or uncomfortable event in your life. Choose a time when things weren't working well, but nothing traumatic. So it's something where you're unhappy, but it's nothing major or super painful. So just unpleasant, uncomfortable, job you didn't like, disagreement with someone, something like that. And it can be something that happened recently or something that happened in the past, long ago. So once you have that in your mind, then you can go ahead and close your eyes and I'll walk you through the calibration. So once you have that memory fresh in your mind, step back into it as if you're stepping into a scene in a movie of your past. Use all your senses to fully experience the memory. Notice how the memory is making you feel, not emotionally, but physically. What physical sensations are connected to this unpleasant memory? Look around in the memory. What are you seeing and hearing? Are there smells, sounds, or textures that you can recall? If there are other people in the memory, what are they saying and doing? Continue to see this memory in your mind and scan your body and notice how your body feels when you're in this memory. Keep your eyes closed. Where are you feeling what you're noticing? If you were to give the sensations any descriptive words, what would they be? Can you think of colors, shapes, textures, or qualities to describe these physical sensations? If you were to give this unpleasant memory a number from -10 for the worst thing that's ever happened to +10 for the best thing that's ever happened, what number would you give it? If you were to name this unpleasant memory or this physical sensation, what would you name it? If this feels complete to you, go ahead and open your eyes. Take a moment to write down anything you noticed, any words, colors, shapes, textures, qualities, the rating from -10 to +10, and the name, if there was one, for these feelings. Now, if you need to, once you're done writing, you can shake off this memory, stand up, move around, kind of get it out of your body, out of your system. You can stretch. If you need to, pause this and then go and take a walk and come back. And then we'll do the positive body compass calibration, which should feel a bit more comfortable to you. So the positive body compass calibration is to illustrate how your body responds when something's going well in your life. It's information that you can use to, calibrate you, to pointing you to your North Star. So think of a pleasant memory. It can be a moment or a stretch of time when you experienced pleasure or excitement. You could think of a pet or a sunset or a scene in a movie that was particularly beautiful. Just think of a time when you had an all is well feeling. The memory can be recent or from long ago. And once you have that memory fresh in your mind, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Now imagine stepping into that pleasant memory as if stepping into a scene in a movie of your life. Take your time to really soak in the sensations. Notice how this memory is making you feel physically, not emotionally. What are you hearing, seeing, smelling, touching, and tasting. Let yourself continue to experience this memory. And while you're here, scan your body and notice what you're experiencing. How does your body feel in this memory? Can you think of metaphors or colors, shapes, textures, or qualities to describe these physical sensations? If you were to give this pleasant memory a number from -10 for the worst thing that's ever happened to +10 for the best thing that's ever happened, what number would you give it? If you were to name this pleasant memory or this physical sensation, what would you name it? Now, if this feels complete to you, you can go ahead and open your eyes and take a moment to write down anything you noticed, words, colors, textures, shapes, qualities, the number that you gave the memory, and the name, if you picked a name. So you have just created and calibrated a body compass tool that you can use all the time. You now have a sense of how your body feels in neutral space, and you have a sense of how it feels when things aren't going well, and how it feels when things are going well and you're experiencing a sense of well-being. So you can start using your body compass for small decisions like what type of milk you want in your coffee, or um, how you feel about something on your to-do list. And you want to do it with small decisions before you use it for bigger decisions like quitting your job or moving across the country. And so a really good practice to use it on is a to-do list. So if you have a list of things to do for your week or your weekend, or things that you need to do coming up, then you can hold each of those items that you have on your to-do list, think about them, imagine yourself doing them, and go into your body. So it's usually like not including the head, neck down. What do you feel? And how does that compare to the negative calibration and the positive calibration? And then you can write numbers from that -10 to +10 on your to-do list, and then decide if there are any that are negative or neutral, how you want to approach those. So can you bag it? we we like to say. So delete it, just totally take it off the list. Can you barter it? So maybe negotiate with a partner or child or someone else to take it over, or even have it hired, or better it in some way, whatever that looks like to you. So I listen to music or podcasts if I'm doing something that I don't love to do. So there's little ways that you can make things better, and or give yourself a little reward for doing it at after it's done. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. It's a tool I use with coaching clients, and I really, really like to rely on the wisdom of the body for my own life and with coaching clients, because I just think it's so valuable, and it's something that our society doesn't value, doesn't talk about. We're very much in our head and logic, and obviously that has a place too. But I think we really talk ourselves out of things that are important to us, and I'd like to break that cycle. So thank you for listening, and please reach out if you have any questions.